Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, how much could depending on your location. Please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos. Nuro luayo, na nuro luayo. Nuro luayo, na nuro luayo. Ọ dịghị mgbe ike mmadụ ga-akarị ike Chukwu. Ọ dịghị mgbe ike Naịjirịa ga-akarị ike Biafra. Nna nuro, onye kere ụwa nuro luayo. Nna nuro, Olisa bi n'igwe nụrụ akwa yo. Now, the news update.
It was supposed to be over. The court had ruled. The facts had spoken. And the world had taken notice. But Kenya wasn't finished. In a bold and unprecedented move, the Kenyan government has now issued a formal ultimatum to Nigeria. Return Nnamdi Kanu to Kenya within 7 days, or face international legal action and global sanctions. This isn't just diplomacy. It's a full-blown diplomatic crisis between two of Africa's powerhouses. And the world is watching. On June 20, 2025, Kenya's Ministry of Foreign Affairs shocked the continent. In a formal communiqué delivered to the Nigerian High Commission in Nairobi, they wrote, "Nigeria must correct the illegality committed on our soil, or face full consequences as outlined under international treaties." Attached was a 7-day deadline, demanding either Kanu's safe return to Kenya, or a public admission and compensation agreement brokered by the AU. The tone was unapologetic. The demand, legally binding. This was no longer a court ruling. It was a sovereign order. So why now? Behind closed doors, pressure has been mounting. Human rights organizations have flooded Kenya's inboxes. The UK, where Kanu is a citizen, has quietly pushed for action. Kenyan lawyers argue that ignoring the ruling makes their own judiciary look powerless. But most of all, Kenya's new government wants to restore its continental credibility. They don't want to be remembered as the nation where African law was ignored for political convenience. And Nnamdi Kanu has become the symbol of that struggle. In Abuja, silence. Officially, the Tinubu administration has refused to respond. But sources inside the Ministry of Justice say panic has set in. Why? Because a public confrontation with Kenya could trigger sanctions from the African Union Legal Commission, damage Nigeria's influence in ECOWAS, and risk losing key partnerships with the UK, EU, and even the US. More dangerously, if the case reaches the International Court of Justice, Nigeria could be tried, not Kanu, for illegal rendition. Let's talk about sanctions. Kenya's warning references the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Conduct and the Rome Statute, under which unlawful transfer is a crime. If escalated, Nigeria could face travel bans for top officials, asset freezes in EU/UK zones, suspension from AU human rights panels, and blocked military/security aid from Western allies. Is this likely? Not overnight. But if Britain, Kenya, and human rights groups present a united front, Nigeria will have to choose Kanu or its standing in the world. IPOB's reaction. A chilling statement, released within hours. If Nigeria does not return our leader, the world will see that we are governed by outlaws. They've called for mass protests across Biafra territory, peaceful sit-ins in UK embassies, legal filings in British and Kenyan courts simultaneously. Kanu's legal team, emboldened by Kenya's move, has now petitioned the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. The net is tightening. 7 days. That's all Kenya has given. 7 days to fix what it calls a crime on its soil. 7 days for Nigeria to choose between legal honor or political ego. 7 days before this internal crisis becomes a global storm. What will happen on day 8? Will Kanu walk free? Will Nigeria apologize? Or will Africa witness a breakdown in law between two sovereign states? The clock is ticking. And every second counts. Day 1 of Kenya's ultimatum. The deadline has been set. The world is watching. And the stakes? Nothing less than Africa's diplomatic balance. This isn't just a legal showdown anymore. It's becoming a continental chess match between Kenya and Nigeria. Two powerful nations locked in a confrontation that could shape the future of African justice. In Nairobi, Kenya's foreign minister, Mutua Komanda, stood before the press. We will not allow our sovereignty or our judicial system to be disrespected. Nigeria has 7 days. That is our position, and it is final. Behind the scenes, a diplomatic firestorm has erupted. The Nigerian High Commission requested a closed-door negotiation. But Kenya refused, demanding a formal apology before any discussion. Sources inside Kenya's cabinet reveal there's no intention of backing down. Not this time. In Abuja, the response has been carefully muted. The Nigerian government has not issued an official counter-statement. But internal leaks paint a different picture. We don't respond to ultimatums, one senior aide told reporters off the record. Kenya can't dictate how we manage national security. Instead, the strategy appears clear. Buy time. Test Kenya's resolve. And lean on AU allies to prevent escalation. But that strategy may already be unraveling. The standoff is pulling in regional actors fast. South Africa has called for a diplomatic resolution rooted in African unity. Ghana has offered to mediate quietly. But Rwanda and Uganda, both critics of forced extraditions, have backed Kenya's legal stance. Meanwhile, the African Union Legal Affairs Commission has called an emergency session to review Nigeria's compliance with the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. And for the first time in years, Nigeria's diplomatic dominance is being questioned. Far beyond Africa, the story has hit the global radar. The BBC and Aljazeera now run daily segments on the Kanu rendition crisis. In the UK, pressure is mounting on the Foreign Office to demand accountability. A leaked memo from a European Parliament's Human Rights Committee reads: if Nigeria ignores Kenya's court ruling, it undermines every treaty on African and international justice. The U.S. State Department has requested a formal human rights briefing from Nigeria. Nigeria is not just under pressure from Kenya. It's now facing scrutiny from the entire international community. Back home, in Nigeria's southeast, protests have resumed. Louder, larger, more organized than before. In cities like Abia, Enugu, and Onitsha, youths chant, "Return him or face the storm." Kenya obeyed the law, Nigeria must too. Even moderate voices are growing bold. Igbo elders, traditional rulers, and clergy are now calling for a peaceful resolution. And for Nigeria to honor the law. It's no longer a fringe demand. It's a regional cry for justice. 2 nations. 1 man. 7 days. With 5 days left, the pressure is unbearable. Nigeria must choose. Stand tall and isolated, or bend and survive.
My people, on don't hear them now. What do you make of it? Drop your comments. But remember, is Biafra or nothing. Bye for now.